In a democracy like India, power is given to the people, and the state is meant to protect, not oppress. The moment of an arrest is a critical test of this principle. It is when the state exercises its immense power over an individual. This is precisely why knowing your rights is not just a good idea. It is your fundamental duty as a citizen. An arrest can be a frightening and confusing experience, stripping away your freedom in an instant. However, the Indian Constitution and our laws have built a strong shield to protect you during this vulnerable time. These rights are designed to ensure that the process is fair, just, and humane, preventing any misuse of authority by law enforcement agencies. They exist to uphold the dignity of every single person, regardless of the accusations against them. It is crucial to remember a cornerstone of our justice system: you are innocent until proven guilty. An arrest is not a verdict. It is merely the beginning of a legal process to investigate a complaint. The police are not the judges. Their role is to investigate and present facts to a court of law. Being taken into custody does not mean you have lost your rights or your humanity. This principle ensures that no one is punished without a fair trial, where evidence is examined and arguments are heard. Understanding this helps you remain calm and assertive. It reminds you that the journey through the legal system has just begun, and your rights are your most powerful companion throughout this journey, ensuring the scales of justice remain balanced. These legal protections are not just abstract ideas written in heavy law books. They have real-world consequences. They are the difference between a lawful procedure and an illegal detention. They prevent custodial torture, forced confessions, and wrongful imprisonment. When police officers know that citizens are aware of their rights, it acts as a powerful check on their actions, encouraging them to follow the letter of the law. This awareness creates a more accountable and transparent policing system, which is essential for the health of any democratic society. Every citizen who knows their rights helps strengthen the rule of law for everyone, making our communities safer and more just for all who live in them. Imagine a situation where these rights did not exist. An arrest could mean disappearing without a trace, with no one knowing where you are or why you have been detained. It could mean being held indefinitely without being presented before a judge. This is the reality in authoritarian regimes, not in a vibrant democracy like ours. Our founding fathers understood the dangers of unchecked state power, which is why they enshrined these protections directly into our Constitution. These rights are the bedrock of our personal liberty. They ensure that the process of justice is not arbitrary, but is governed by clear, established rules that apply equally to every single citizen of this country. The Constitution of India is the ultimate guardian of your liberty. Article 22 provides some of the most critical rights for an arrested person. First, you have the right to be informed of the grounds of your arrest. The police cannot simply take you away without telling you exactly why you are being detained. Second, you have the right to consult and be defended by a legal practitioner of your choice. This means you can call your lawyer immediately. This right is absolute and cannot be denied. It ensures that you have expert legal advice from the very beginning, helping you navigate the complexities of the legal system and protecting you from making any statement that could harm your case later on. Furthermore, Article 22 mandates that every arrested person must be produced before the nearest magistrate within 24 hours of the arrest. This 24-hour period excludes the time necessary for the journey from the place of arrest to the magistrate's court. This is a crucial safeguard against illegal detention and police abuse. A magistrate, who is a judicial officer, will review your arrest to determine if it was lawful and if there is sufficient reason to keep you in custody. It is at this point that the police must justify their actions to a neutral authority. This rule ensures that your detention is not solely at the discretion of the police, bringing judicial oversight into the picture right at the start. The Code of Criminal Procedure, or CRPC, provides a detailed rulebook for the police to follow during an arrest. Section 41B of the CRPC states that the police officer making the arrest must wear a clear, visible, and accurate identification with their name. They must also prepare a memo of arrest which should be signed by you and a family member or a respectable member of the locality. This memo must include the time and date of the arrest. You also have the right, under Section 50A, to have a friend, relative, or another person of your choice informed about your arrest and the place where you are being held as soon as possible. This prevents secret detentions and ensures your loved ones know your whereabouts. Another significant right under the CRPC is the right to a medical examination. Section 54 gives you the right to be examined by a medical officer when you are arrested. This is extremely important because it creates an official record of your physical condition at the time of arrest. If you have been subjected to any form of physical abuse or torture in custody, this medical report can serve as crucial evidence. You can request a medical examination at any point during your detention if you feel you have been mistreated. This right acts as a strong deterrent against custodial violence, ensuring that your physical well-being is protected while you are in the custody of the state. The Supreme Court of India has played a vital role in strengthening the rights of arrested individuals. The landmark judgment in the D.K. Basu versus State of West Bengal case from 1997 is a shining example. The court was deeply concerned about the rising number of deaths and instances of torture in police custody. To prevent such abuses, the Supreme Court laid down a set of 11 mandatory guidelines that the police must follow during every arrest and detention. These guidelines are not mere suggestions. They are the law of the land. They were created to ensure transparency, accountability, and the protection of human dignity throughout the entire arrest process, making the safeguards more practical and enforceable. The D.K. Basu guidelines essentially turned many existing rights into a strict, non-negotiable checklist for the police. For instance, the police must inform the arrested person of their right to have someone informed of their arrest. The police must record the details of the arrest and the names of the officers involved in a dedicated register. The memo of arrest must be prepared and attested as required by the CRPC. The location of the detainee and the names of the officers interrogating them must be documented. These rules were designed to leave a clear paper trail, making it difficult for any misconduct to go unnoticed and ensuring every step taken by the police is documented and justifiable. Let's consider a real-life inspired example. A young man named Rohan was picked up by the police from his home late at night. They refused to tell him or his family the reason for his arrest and did not let him call a lawyer. They did not prepare an arrest memo. For 36 hours, his family had no idea where he was. Panicked, they contacted a lawyer who immediately filed a writ of habeas corpus in the High Court. The court ordered the police to produce Rohan immediately. When the police brought him to court, the judge found that they had violated nearly all the D.K. Basu guidelines and the 24-hour rule. The court ordered Rohan's immediate release and initiated an inquiry against the police officers for illegal detention. The law also recognizes that certain groups in society are more vulnerable and require special protections. For women, the law is very clear. A woman cannot be arrested after sunset and before sunrise, except in exceptional circumstances with permission from a magistrate. Furthermore, only a female police officer can physically search another woman. When a woman is arrested, she must be kept in a separate lockup, away from male detainees. For children, the Juvenile Justice Act provides a separate system to ensure they are treated with care and sensitivity, focusing on rehabilitation rather than punishment. Similarly, the law advises police to handle senior citizens with consideration and care, respecting their age and potential health issues during the arrest process. When a person is arrested, the next immediate concern is usually getting bail. Bail is a legal mechanism that allows an accused person to be released from custody while they await their trial, often on the condition that they provide some form of security to ensure they will appear in court. There are primarily 3 types of bail in India. Regular bail is sought by a person who is already in police custody. Anticipatory bail can be requested by someone who anticipates they might be arrested for a non-bailable offense, allowing them to get bail in advance. Default bail, also known as statutory bail, becomes a right if the police fail to complete their investigation and file a charge sheet within the stipulated time frame, which is typically 60 or 90 days depending on the severity of the alleged crime. A cornerstone of access to justice is the right to legal representation, regardless of one's financial situation. Article 39. A of the Constitution directs the state to provide free legal aid to any citizen who cannot afford to hire a lawyer. This is not charity. It is your right. If you are arrested and cannot pay for legal counsel, you must inform the police or the magistrate before whom you are produced. The court is then obligated to appoint a lawyer for you at the state's expense. This ensures that a lack of money does not become a barrier to receiving a fair defense. Legal aid services are available through legal services authorities established in every state, ensuring that justice is accessible to all, not just the wealthy. But what happens if the police disregard all these rules and violate your rights? You are not helpless. The most powerful tool against illegal detention is the writ of habeas corpus, which translates to produce the body. A friend or family member can file this petition in the High Court or the Supreme Court, and the court will command the police to present the arrested person before them and explain the reasons for their detention. If the court finds the detention to be illegal, it will order the immediate release of the person. This is a swift and effective remedy to secure personal liberty against unlawful state action. Beyond habeas corpus, you can take other steps. You can file a formal complaint against the police officers involved with a senior police official, like the Superintendent of Police, or with the State or National Human Rights Commission. You can also file a private complaint before a judicial magistrate, who can then order an investigation into the matter. Evidence of illegal arrest, like the absence of an arrest memo or violation of the 24-hour rule, can be used to challenge the entire case against you in court. Knowing your rights is your first line of defense. Asserting them calmly and firmly is your second. And when all else fails, the doors of our courts are always open to protect your freedom.